2024 is here. Toys are not going away. But you know what is going to go away? My interest in buying certain toys that continue to price hike. We'll talk about that and more on the next episode of the Toy Closet. What's up, buddy?
Hi. It's
It's
too late now in the year to say Happy New Year. Larry David tells you when you got to cut it off, and we're the 13th or later. It's too. I heard someone say it earlier not earlier this week, later this week, and I'm like, dude, it's like the 10th of January. You don't say Happy New Year anymore. You've missed the window. It's okay. It's okay you've missed the window, but like at this point, it's Happy President's Day or Martin
did I,
Luther King Day.
did I
Or
say it? I don't even recall saying
no,
it. I
no,
know
I
you
wanted
mentioned
to
the
I
year.
wanted to beat you to the punch before you could say it, before we had Curb Your Enthusiasm fans coming after us.
Bum, bum, bum,
Last season, coming up, last season.
Well, you know what? It is 2024.
No
It's not.
closet behind me anymore as we did
Yeah,
last show, but
I gotta
toys.
I gotta fill the gap, and we got a great background back there. So it's been a little bit for us. It is pretty much the name of the game. We do it when we can. Schedules have been a little crazy, work, both of us, and there's not too much been going on. But I figured it'd be cool for us to get together, shoot the shit like we do, talk about maybe some hauls if we got anything that we've picked up in the last couple of weeks, and then we're gonna just talk about some figures or toys that we're anticipating this year. There's one like little caveat in there for me for something that I want to get this year. It's fairly new, so I'm going to
Mhm.
add that. But yeah, before we do that, you want to talk about anything you've picked up in the last couple of weeks since we last did a show?
I'm sure there's plenty, but between Christmas, New Year, like you said, work, everything else, we were sick in this house. Probably right after we recorded the last show, I think it was.
I think you're correct.
And yeah, I mean, between Christmas, I don't know what you got. I didn't get a lot of toys per se. My wife did pick me up some of these game of bricks. They make sets that you can add to your existing Lego set to light them up. So I reached out to them. They had a partner program listed. They're modifying it. So they did give me a discount code to grab some more, but I haven't set them up yet. So I'm going to see how effective they look, stuff like that. Uh, my wife got it for this particular set, but it's not built yet.
Oh, nice.
So we shall see how this looks once the stones are all lit up. I mean, I've had this set for a while. I have plans. You can't see it. I mean, I can tilt up. So this upper shelf here, those are three different sets. One's the Piranha Plant Lego. This is the Wolverine Claw,
Nice.
and then the Gauntlet. So I plan on putting all of them up there.
And despite the fact that it kind of cuts you off, that's a cool shot of your
Yeah,
office right now, like it because you get that, but
yeah. You can see up on this side, you can
miss your face a little bit.
see Decepticons and stuff over here also. And this is my video game shelf for
Amiibo.
more of your pressed for time stuff. Yeah, that's not even all the amiibo. So I mean, I don't want to talk about you and your amiibo, but
Well, mine are I definitely don't have a collection like I used to,
yeah,
but I definitely have a plethora of, I pretty much have all the Zelda ones minus
that's
the Guardians. Like I only got one
yeah,
of the 4 Guardians.
that's pretty much what I have here. Is most of the Zelda ones, not all of them. Definitely not. I don't think I have any Breath of the Wild here. A couple Mario ones, and you can't live without
Oh, of course.
solid
I
snake.
mean, like I went the route of, as you know, long time ago I was big into the amiibo game. I was collecting them, reselling them, doing good with it.
Right
And it
when
just
they
got
when they actually had a market.
when they were peaking. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was doing pretty good for myself, I have to say. But it got to a point where just like, you know what? I know which ones I really like, and it's always going to be Nintendo franchises we liked. I don't have any Mario ones because I've never been a big Mario guy.
right.
But I have like all the Metroids, all
Yeah.
the you know Final Fantasy, Street Fighter, anything that's like relatable to
I
those
I
types of
have quite a
games.
few, not quite a few. I probably have like five. I think 5 or 6 when GameStop was blowing them out. They did the Metroid 2 pack. They did Zelda
Yeah,
pack. So I still have those. They just don't ever end up getting open. So I'll
Did you ever
probably
get
sell
Banjo?
the one. I didn't, but I pre-ordered Sora. I
Okay.
should get Banjo, right? But
I'm
I'd
gonna
like to
wait.
get it. I'd like to get it cheap, like $5 or something, because I'm never going to use it.
I think I have to buy. He has to be purchased, right? Like he was like part of another pass, right? Because I have the pass with Sora, but I thought I would have had everybody
I have
else.
the pass with Banjo Kazooie, and then I stopped because I don't care about the other characters they put in there. With all
So
of them have
what
swords
is it
and
like? Is it like 4 different packs, I guess, or three?
yeah, 3 or 4.
So I'm wondering because like my son has gotten big into Smash now, playing it, and I'm like playing with him, and I'm like, yeah. And then I realized I'm like, wait, I have a Banjo, and I don't see him here. So I gotta like go in the store and see, I
Yeah,
guess who else is
you might
left.
be missing that very first pack. I think it was the very first pack.
Got it. Okay. And it's
Yeah.
funny,
So
real quick, just to
go
not to
ahead, go ahead.
segue, but I threw the Wii U on. I know we're not doing toys right now, but I
Video
thought you'd
games. Oh, you
yeah,
mean yeah?
no, I just
Go
thought
ahead.
you'd
Yeah.
appreciate bringing it up, throwing Smash on, and I'm like, I didn't realize how early the amiibos were. Like we're going back to the Wii U because
Yeah.
when you look at all the menus for the games, it's all the figures, and it was so focused on the idea of them being toys. The new
Yeah.
one's not like that,
Right.
So it's like
Well,
you
and
play it so
remember
much now.
remember the Mario Party? It was like just an amiibo game. It was
Yes,
like it was they went really heavy into it and was probably a mistake, but that was Toys to Life era, right? Where I was going through some of my Disney Infinity stuff, and I'm like, do I just keep these for my son now at this point? I think so because they're a cool
I
thing to see
yeah,
because you may never see it again. So
right.
like I mean, your son's a little older than mine is, but like when he starts playing, you may never see that concept done. Like I could just play it on Steam and have all the
Not the
characters in there,
same.
but
Yeah.
it's not the same as putting the toy on the pad and actually playing with it. I leave my Wii U plugged in now after you and I discussed months ago. If you have a Wii U, this is not really the show for it, but there's issues with the internal EEPROM, I think it is, that you could end up bricking the system by not using it. And I don't know if there's been a solid fix other than backing that up, which I did, but if you leave it plugged in, apparently that doesn't happen.
Yeah, so mine is in, and
Yeah.
he wanted to try Mario Maker 1, which I thought I had, but I don't. But I
And you
think
can
this is
also
offline.
jailbreak it. You can also jailbreak the system, which is a gray area. I don't know what you talk about on your other show about that. Because
No, it
I,
hasn't come
I've
up yet.
I've become of the mindset, and maybe we this should be for a whole nother show, is that like if you're not going to allow me to purchase it, then I should have the right to find it however I can, right? Because if you can't let me purchase it and you don't want to make money off me, what are you leaving me to do?
And it's funny. This is a topic you and I have talked about in the
Yeah.
yesteryears of the media masterminds. So I remember this topic, and it's definitely a heavy topic, and it doesn't get discussed enough. And now, I think you need to come on Press for Time so we can definitely focus on this because I definitely been wanting to talk about physical media again. I know movie wise you stand a certain way with it, but with
Well,
games,
I
it's
went
important.
back into the physical pool a little bit. I put my
Well,
little toe in,
well,
put my little
you're
toesy
still
in.
doing this, yeah. You're just seeing if the water's warm enough.
But let
So
me do
let's
the quick
focus.
haul back to toys. I don't know if it would be considered toys, and I don't have them here, but I did pick up some ornaments, Hallmark ornaments after the new year. They're on sale, so I ended up ordering some of those. I ordered the Jabba the Hutt ornament that talks and everything. Oh, 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 half off because it was $50 originally, which is nuts for an ornament. But I really
You were committed.
this year was the first year we put on the storyteller ornaments. I don't know if you're familiar with those. Is they have a special cord. They don't use regular batteries. You have to wire them in. But the more you have of them, they will reenact scenes from the particular movie they're from, or
Interesting.
Disney parks. They have. So I have a couple Star Wars. I have like Obi-Wan Kenobi, Luke, and Vader, and they'll do scenes from A New Hope.
Ben Kenobi? Boy, am I glad to see you.
Tell me, young Luke, what brings you out this far?
Oh, this little droid.
Where they're all interacting. And then
Interesting.
I have Nightmare Before Christmas, where I have Santa, Oogie Boogie, and then Lock, Shock, and Barrel are on one ornament. And they'll do like 10 minutes of the movie with songs and everything.
They all have to be intertwined, or they just have to be in a
They
radius?
just have to be plugged in. Doesn't matter if they're separate plugs or whatever, and they can realize that they're on
They sense each
together,
other.
but they'll only do their part, so you won't hear Jack or Sally stuff The same thing with the Star Wars. If you don't have Han and Chewbacca, you don't hear their parts. But if you had them, it would add more to it.
That's
And
interesting.
yeah, they really. I wish I would have got more of the Nightmare Before Christmas ones. They don't make them anymore, and now they go for a lot. The ones I'm missing is Jack and Sally. Same
Of
thing with the
course.
Star Wars, Leia, Han, and Chewbacca. But they're really cool. They're really something to check out, and my son really gets a kick out of the Nightmare Before Christmas. And like I said, once you hit it once, it's like going for 10 minutes. You can stop it. You don't have to
Yeah.
listen to the whole thing.
Right.
But it's doing multiple songs, Kidnap the Sandy Claus, the Oogie Boogie song. Like it's
That's cool.
basically doing the movie. So I thought
Yeah.
that was cool. But
Nice.
this, I don't know. I don't think I showed this last time.
You have not.
Call to John.
Call to John.
This one I just recently picked up. Very reminiscent of Toddy Mac movie Maniacs line, which I
Agreed.
still have.
With
This
the
was
little
this was a
blister packs.
end of the year pickup, and then these just came. I actually had you on the lookout for these for me, and
TMNT.
I no longer need you to do it. So they
TMNT.
were available online, so I was
And
able
not
to order them.
destroyed.
Yeah, I ordered.
Good.
They had stickers on them, which I already peeled off.
Good stuff.
Bebop and Rocksteady mutating
And then
Rocksteady.
there was like one more, right? Like to make all the turtles at this
I
point.
got all the turtles already.
Okay.
So these were
Nice.
the additionals, which are cool because the plan with these is either to sell them eventually if they stop making them, or they'll be for my son to play with, and because this is like stuff that I had when I was a kid, so this is like hitting home.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of these now, these Playmate reissues, but I like these is because I can leave them at not in the package obviously,
And you
but
could appreciate
I can leave them as their human selves, and have the regular Bebop and Rocksteady as separate figures, right?
Yeah.
I thought that's cool. For $15, I think Playmates is doing a pretty good job with these re-releases. They're not marking them up. They're $10 for the regular figures, 15 for these.
they're giving you
It's
the
not too
proper
bad.
expectation.
Yeah,
Hey, this is what we made before. We're making it again.
right,
Ideally.
right. I mean, obviously there's some quality control issues, but every company has it. Hasbro especially.
No comment. Well, I will have a comment actually. I'll save that.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. I don't have the ornaments local to
Okay.
show you,
Cool.
but
No, that's cool. So I'll give you my little Hasbro story. So, friend of the show, friend offline, Grizdiz, Chris from Never Enough Toys. I had ended up gifting him a Marvel Legends figure that I found at a Walmart last year by my job. It was the Captain America Bucky Barnes, which was very hard to get. It was a Walmart exclusive, if you remember. The figure was done years ago, but this was like the new mold, so it had the butterfly joints versus the older one not having that. Long story short, I ended up seeing him last weekend for our other friend, Rich's co-host, their baby shower. So we were there, and he ended up talking to me, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, I finally opened that figure, and guess what? It was swapped." Not only did we get a figure swap, we got an impressive. This person put in a bootleg and painted it to
nice.
look like Captain America Bucky Barnes.
Like
With
just in case someone opened it in the store, I guess, to make sure.
that is what I'm thinking is the case. Not justifying, but thinking that that's what it was. And let me tell you, the frustration is real, and I feel horrible because he's the way I am with the MCU figures. That's with him with the
Yeah,
comic wave, and he's like, I don't need it, but it's the point. Like we've talked about it all these years, and like specifically this last year with Hasbro cutting the windows, it was bound to happen, right?
yeah,
So just
yeah. But at least
quality control.
that's a figure at least you can still get.
You can't. That's the
Well,
problem.
on eBay or what? It's
Yeah, for $50, not
Oh,
even.
really? That much of a
Yeah,
markup?
because everybody's selling the first one to try to find the new one.
Right.
But I was able to reach out to Hasbro, and in their good faith, the woman was extremely helpful. She was like, "Look, I'm going through my inventory," which I didn't know was an option, and
Yeah.
she was trying to find it. She's like, "Unfortunately, we don't have it." But she's like, "I was trying to find any Captain kind of figures in the Marvel Legends." Because I told her the last time I had the issue with Bumblebee, they sent me a 3-year-old kid's Bumblebee.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, that shouldn't happen." I'm like, "Well, So she found a retro card Falcon. She's like, I'll send that your way if you want. I'm like, that's fine. He's like, I have that, but you can keep it now. And I'm just like, it's just what are the odds, man? I felt defeated. But the good news is Hasbro's going back on their word on that, and we'll get those windows again. So
Yeah.
I think the latest wave has, the normal windows again. But let's see. I don't have too much either. A couple of them I didn't get to talk about last show. So let me grab them real quick.
3 hours later.
Insert music like da, ba, da, da,
Da-da,
please wait
da-da, ba-da-da. The one that
Oh,
you're upset about.
mine's coming sometime next month. Thanks, Amazon.
Yeah, which I still don't get. So it definitely is
The
up there
power
for
of
me,
Prime in the palm of your hand.
if you can afford it, right? And
They
then
want
to
ads
go
and all the other nonsense.
to go with it.
The Goblin. Well, that we mentioned last show, but you didn't show it. I had mine already put away. That showed up.
Good. Well, we got a special thank you and shout out actually to Jada Toys, because Jada Toys was nice enough to send us some stuff right at the end of the holiday. A Jurassic Park fan saw this and they thought it'd be cool to send your way. This is a cool little micro machine kind of. It's called the Nano Scene, and as you can see, it's the gate in all its glory. Pretty cool for the 30th anniversary. So thank you to Jada for sending that our way. And for me, boom.
Hadouken!
Yatta. Looking forward to opening those. I see a lot of people praising them for the price. Jada's really swinging with the 112 scale figures.
What's
So
the price?
$19.99. So
Not
the one
bad.
thing I will say too is part of my anticipated list is also going to be some stuff from Jada, because they're coming in swinging, like I said, with the figures. So, and they're going video game focused. So they have another license we'll talk about in a little bit. But the last haul I have is
Pew, pew, pew.
my lovely favorite store, Burlington. This is all Marvel Legends.
Burlington has clearance. There's a Burlington by me. Is that from the Burlington that's by me?
No, this is actually from Linden. So some of these are from Grizz, because he doesn't collect MCU, so he gave me the Black Widow wave.
MCU mostly trash.
Wow, thanks.
The toys, not the movies and shows.
Yes, lately, yeah. Different discussion. No, but I was able to get the entire controller wave for
Is that missing something in the box?
It's missing because
You already built them.
he's
Okay. I was gonna say that box looks like you may have another problem on your hands.
Hasbro problems. But yeah, those were all
How much were those?
$6 each.
Maybe I should hit up the Burlington by me.
Yeah. Burlington's they're hit or miss. That store was like right after the holiday.
I didn't even know they had toys.
It's in the back corner. So we found Mario toys. Xander and I, we found some of the 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 ones you don't like, the Power Ranger / Ninja Turtle figures that they came out with. They had some of those on clearance. So I was able to get some of those.
Everything depends how cheap it is. That's
$20 for a 2-pack.
Nah, not for me. Maybe for you.
Well, because one had like the Foot Clan Tommy. Yeah. I already had the Shredder Green Ranger, but I was like, for $20. I considered them before, but what else? G.I. Joes they've had as well.
Oh, that's part of my haul. They've already been put away because who knows when I'm going to open them. But I bought all the Ultimates when Entertainment Earth
right?
When Entertainment Earth had them for like less than $10 each. I bought the whole wave and like two of the bat. Yeah.
Was it the blue bat or the original bat?
The original.
Because I remember they had the blue bat for a little bit too. So
yeah, and sad news is they're not continuing with the Simpsons line, Super 7.
I feel like most of those lines are going to be ending soon. I want to get the Silverhawk ones eventually, and I know some of them were cheap, and I missed out because I just didn't have the money. But again, it goes back to it's a disappointment because some of them are really cool, I just feel like some of
I
the
think
skin tone is my biggest gripe with any of
I
the
think they
faces.
did a really good job designing them, but they just went too obscure with the characters. And I get Simpsons fans want obscure,
Oh
but if
yeah,
you want
yeah.
to sell on a mass level, like you need to make Homer regular Homer and regular Bart, not Bartman, not astronaut Homer.
You do them later.
Yeah, Hank
Give people a chance.
Scorpio, like Poochie, like those are not the guys you want to sell. Like Mr. Burns with Smithers, Series 1 together, like
Give me
easy.
Ghost Smithers. I'll buy that.
Go
I
Smithers.
bring you love.
That's
Radioactive,
that's
whatever.
Mr. Burns though, not Smithers.
Oh, whatever. But yeah,
Yes,
I'm not a Simpsons fan, so I
they
appreciate
really.
little things.
I feel like they went the wrong angle with those. Maybe that was a part of their licensing arrangement. I don't know, but they could have went a different way with those. The reaction figures are good, but everything's ending. Apparently, they're not renewing the license. So grab them if you want them now, or maybe they'll go clearance. But I think they canceled the wave already, so I'm not sure.
Well, Toys R Us, fake Toys R Us, the ones that are inside the Macy's, sell Super Sevens. They're not on clearance now, but those Toys R places are I've known to see them go clearance because people don't even know they're there.
Yeah,
So that's some place you might find them.
yeah.
So
I mean,
keep
at
that
this
in mind.
point, are there any of those ultimates that are worth picking up at full price? Like almost every series you've seen, I have a couple of the Transformers that we've showcased on the show that I originally pre-ordered some of them, not this one, but pre-ordered some of them and I ended up canceling them because I got this for like less than $20 and they go for
Right.
55.
Yeah.
So I'm not
And it's
gonna
funny, I
pick up
saw one
any
in
of them.
Stone Island recently, the bug one, I guess. I don't
I
remember
have
his
that one
name.
too, Bombshell.
Yeah, he was like $25 at
Yeah,
Newberry Comics, like
yeah,
just
I
a
think I got
comic
him
book
for
store.
20. And he's
Crazy.
sitting there. He's sitting here in the box because I prefer the Hasbro one that I have up here. So I'm like, it's the G2 version, so it's a little different. But am
Yeah,
I going to
either way.
display it? Nah,
No,
probably not. I looked on my card to sell it, and I'm like, it's not really going for anything at all. So it'll become one of my son's toys he plays with eventually.
you're gonna be like me passing everything on. I hope for your sake that he embraces half of it.
Yeah, well,
Xander embraced none of my stuff.
that's the marital concern. So,
Wow. Yeah, because you at least you know where it can go, you know?
yeah.
So you have a plan B at least. Like with Xander's like, all right, I don't want Mario toys anymore. So now he's not interested in Mario toys. He's like,
Oh
we don't
boy.
need to buy him anymore. He went right back to FNAF, which is fine. But like I had a Toadette like reserve, pre-ordered for him. He's like, you can cancel it. I'm good. All right. Hey, that's what kids do, right? They change their minds. So
Yeah.
either way, that's why a man of a million franchises. At the end of the day, if I don't like one, I
The
can.
man of 1,000 franchises like Dean Malenko. All
Yeah,
right.
I own it all. It's all mine. So I guess we can wrap it up quick with if we want to talk about something you're excited for 2024. If you want to go
Well,
first.
yeah, I have some of these. If you want to click through them, maybe we could at least share so we
Yeah,
know what we're talking about. I have the
yeah.
screen shared here, and this is a new line I never knew was even being planned or coming out or anything. It's a Mezco 5 point, and what they're kind of doing is like almost like redoing some of these Batman the animated series figures on a smaller scale. So I think
Yeah.
these are 3 and a quarter inch,
So they're
and
limited on articulation because of that, right? It's
well, I think that's the 5 point. They're calling them 5 point because their arms
yeah,
and legs
it's
and stuff. And let me see if I can click through some of these. Here we go. That'll change it a little bit. Yeah, so you can see some of these, and the cards look beautiful, right? So these I have pre-ordered. I'm anticipating these, and you can kind of get spoilers at the top. They're also doing the Batmobile,
which
which
is
is
awesome
crazy,
because
right?
all the boxes look like the art that we grew up with.
Yeah, yeah. And so if this series is successful, I'm assuming they're going to do more, and they're relatively cheap, which is good. This is $30. I think the figures are, I want to say between 50 and 60. I
For
forget
the
now at
four,
this
right?
point. Let's say
Yeah, I think
80. They're a little bit more, so they're $20 a figure, which isn't terrible. Oh, this is even more. Maybe I was completely
Mhm.
wrong.
Yeah.
Forget
Well,
about
it's
that.
good that you have it there, so that's okay.
So this one is called Missing Link Convoy. Is actually a reissue, kind of sorta. So it's a reissue
Looks
of
somewhat
what looks like
G1.
the G1 mold, but there's articulation. So you
Yeah,
can
because
see the
he's on a
joints,
block.
right? You can see the joints move, and look at this, the way he can bend, and so this I pre-ordered. I have a G1 Optimus. I have so many Optimus. It's gonna just end up going in a collection, but I thought it was cool. It's like the first time they did something like this, where it like all articulated. They have another version with the
Is it die
trailer.
cast? Because it looks like die cast.
I don't think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be all plastic. They have another one that comes with the trailer, but his look is more of the toy look. This is more of the cartoon look in the face. And
Got
then this one, which was supposed to be this month, this is the last of the Masterpiece third party series that I need for Galvatron, Cyclonus, and then this one is Scourge. So I have Cyclonus and Galvatron. I hear some background noise by you.
That's the little one. You didn't notice when you were present. He was just on my shoulder before.
But so yeah, this is the last one in that grouping of those three that I'm really anticipating. And the only other stuff, you can unshare that now.
Okay. You can say hi to Uncle Paul. Go ahead.
Hi.
You have to come in.
Hi.
All right, let me finish.
The other two things I wrote down are unannounced, so who knows if they're going to happen or not. I'm assuming they will. New Transformer HasLab. There's been a lot of rumor and innuendo as to what that might be. Maybe a Unicron with the original mold. Maybe. Kind of hopeful. Maybe Metroplex will come back somehow. I don't know. And then one that we almost guaranteed to get is the last Dinobot in the Leader Class series, which is Swoop.
Long overdue.
He's the only one we're missing, and that's like my favorite of the toy looking. Like as a character, he's a nobody in the show.
Right.
Grimlock has always been the best, but like Pterodactyl and the way he transforms and everything has always been one of my favorites. So I'm like, where is this already? It's the last studio series we need. I never bought the Grimlock, but I have the Masterpiece Grimlock, so I kind of plan on putting them all together anyway. They're close in scale, and then having all the Dinobots.
Yeah, I'm missing the last Dinobot that has come out because I haven't seen him anywhere.
Snarl, right? Yeah, I saw him recently. Actually, I didn't know you were looking for him. I think he was at Walmart.
I got to keep an eye out. I have everybody else that's been out so far. So eventually, and I know you always have most of your Transformers in bot form because you prefer. They're one of the only ones I actually keep in Dino form.
Those would be ones I would consider also. They're just more difficult to fit onto a shelf when you have them all transformed into Dinobot mode.
No,
but yeah,
I agree.
I prefer
I'm
them.
Looking at them, I'm like, they do take up a lot of space. All right, so I'll run through my stuff while Little X is just constantly, not realizing that everything he's saying is being heard.
Annihilus.
So this is one of my big anticipations. I love Diamond with certain figures. Like I was a big fan of Apocalypse.
I like Annihilus's look, and I remember as a kid having we got war going on here. I like Annihilus as an old toy. There was an old Toy Biz toy that I had of him. It, like head kind of like came out with like a little mini body or some.
It was on the old retro cards, the gray cards. He was like I think wave 3 or 4, I believe the Toy Biz ones. Unless you're talking more recent.
I don't know. I'm talking in the
early '90s, right?
Yeah.
And so I never had that figure.
He's a good Marvel Snap card for those fans out there. Marvel Snap. We could talk intimately about that.
You would have a show just for that.
Oh, I would. I love Marvel Snap.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to him. I love how the pre-order tells you it's coming out next year. But
yeah, I think that's the first time I've seen this. It's pretty cool. He's a good looking figure. He kind of looks like a legend, even though he's a Diamond Select.
Yeah, and you know me, like with Diamond Select, I tend to like the villains. That I feel like they can justify that larger scale.
I agree. Yeah.
So Diamond, if you're watching, let us know. I don't want to wait till next year. Come on.
Send to.
All right. And so the next one, we'll go back to Marvel Legends, of course. And that's going to be because I don't have the original retro card.
That's a nice one too. I have that pre-ordered.
So right now I have the Mafex one, which he's actually the only Mafex that I have left because I've sold them all because they were just worth the money. I made good money on them, but I don't want to have the cloth. You know what I mean? I like the plastic.
And it looks really good on here, actually. Hasbro did a good job with this.
Yeah, so I'm excited for this figure, and
I love this. I
I'll need
love the
2 of
Scarlet
them.
Spider look. I'm not a big fan of Ben Riley as a
Same.
in the comics, but I love the look of the costume, and it's so basic, but it's just I love the look of it.
Agreed. Here's another one.
There he
Jada.
is. I teased it right when you said it
Yeah.
was Mega
The Blue
Man.
Bomber. I'm a sucker for Blue Bomber. He's not on display because those figures just tend to have a value that, once you open them, I'm just like, so I have
Yeah.
so many
What
sealed.
can you click through? What does he come with?
So he
For 20
doesn't.
bucks. I mean, like you said, the value of these seem like pretty good. The different faces, obviously, right?
Yep, and you get the blast,
Yeah.
which is really cool.
I like
I
how they
mean,
did that in the
yeah,
slide.
there you go.
Pretty cool for 20 bucks. I mean, a second head, it's pretty good.
Yeah, have to
Along
agree.
along with their quality control, like we were discussing earlier, is
Yeah,
good on them. You know, fun fact: Joe talks a lot of smack about Mega Man games, and he's never truly beaten one. He showed me
I
he
know
can't
we've
beat one.
talked about that with 2 for many years. We've talked
Yeah, he says he
about
can beat him, and he has, but when put to the test,
that. Not so much.
not so much.
So we're gonna close this out with something that you told me about. You ended up not picking it up yet because I think the price point was not where you were hoping it was. But I think I'm gonna eventually get it if we don't get an announcement elsewhere.
Yeah,
So
it's actually on sale. I was looking at it. See that?
yeah,
It's 159. I do like it. I was really close, and then they put up that third party Unicron again, and I pre-ordered that instead. I've always
look at
wanted a
that.
Unicron, and then the HasLab will get announced, I'm sure, after I get it, and then I'll be like, oh well, that was a waste of money.
Look at this. Look at this bad boy.
What I really like is that it lights up, and it comes with lights and
Yes.
in city mode to have it lit up looks really cool.
Yeah.
Really,
Look at that. That's so
yeah,
awesome.
that does look great.
So
I wish
honestly,
like 120. You know, that's what it was supposed to be. 100, 120.
yeah.
I would have just dropped it and said, "Fuck it, bleep that out, bleep that out."
But yeah, that's what we have for today. I think there's a lot more great stuff coming.
Yeah.
We wanted to talk about a price hike.
Oh
I'll
yeah.
just
I know.
say I'm not
Toddy
a
Mac.
fan. Toddy Mac.
Another time.
We do
We
this.
went way longer than we expected, and we weren't really prepared. But we had a lot of good content on here, and even
Yeah,
slid in the video game stuff.
yeah, good stuff. Toddy Mac. I don't know what you're doing, but $40 for a figure. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Do what you
That's
will with that, ladies and gentlemen.
those will be clearance, just like the Super 7 stuff. So enjoy.
Well, he's smart because he put him on his own site only. So he
Yeah.
manages that inventory, but we'll save that for another rant. All right. You got anything else for us, bud?
Till all are one.
And take care and have fun. Bye bye.